Thank you for listening to today's episode of Medical Device Global Market Access by Pure Global. Your host here. Today we are discussing a highly anticipated and significant development for medical device manufacturers targeting the European Union. On June 29, 2026, the European Commission published 2 delegated regulations that substantially expand the list of well-established technologies, or WET, under the Medical Devices Regulation, the MDR. This update is not a minor tweak. It represents a major opportunity for many manufacturers to streamline their path to market. So, what exactly has changed? Under the MDR, Class III and implantable devices are generally required to undergo clinical investigations to demonstrate safety and performance. However, Article 61(4) provides an exemption for devices based on well-established technologies. Until now, the list of WET devices was quite limited. These new regulations have added dozens of new device types to this list. This means that if your device is now classified as a WET, you may be able to rely on a comprehensive body of existing clinical data from equivalent devices and scientific literature, rather than conducting a new, costly, and time-consuming clinical investigation. The impact is most significant for manufacturers of Class III and certain Class IIb implantable devices. The expanded list now includes a range of products, such as specific types of catheters, certain bone fillers and cements, various dental implants, and a number of spinal fixation systems like screws, rods, and plates. For these device types, the burden of evidence generation has potentially been reduced. Furthermore, for some Class IIb implantable devices that now fall under the WET classification, the regulations allow for a more streamlined conformity assessment process. Notified bodies may now be permitted to assess the technical documentation on a representative sampling basis, rather than reviewing every single device file individually, which can accelerate the review process. This change, however, is not a simple waiver. Manufacturers cannot just declare their device is a WET and skip the clinical evidence step. The exemption hinges on being able to provide a robust justification. You must still compile a thorough clinical evaluation report, or CER, that demonstrates your device's conformity with the relevant general safety and performance requirements. This justification must be built on a sufficient amount of clinical data from the scientific literature, data from equivalent devices, and any other relevant post-market information. The key is that the technology and its application in your device must be proven to be stable, well understood, and resilient, and have a long history of safe use. So, what are the practical next steps for regulatory and quality teams? First, we strongly advise you to immediately review the newly published Delegated Regulations to determine if any of your devices are now included on the expanded WET list. This is the critical first step to understanding if you can leverage this new pathway. Second, if your device is on the list, you must reevaluate your clinical evidence strategy. Instead of planning for a new clinical trial, your focus should shift to conducting a comprehensive literature review and gathering data on equivalent devices to build a solid justification for your CER. Third, engage with your notified body as soon as possible. Discuss your interpretation of your device's WET status and your proposed clinical data strategy. Early alignment with your notified body is crucial to avoid any delays or disagreements during the conformity assessment process. Finally, begin updating your technical documentation. Your CER must be meticulously crafted to present the argument for why a new clinical investigation is not necessary, supported by a wealth of evidence demonstrating the well-established nature of the technology. This is a significant opportunity to save time and resources, but it requires a diligent and well-documented regulatory approach. This expansion of the WET list is a pragmatic move by the European Commission, acknowledging that for many technologies, a vast body of evidence already exists. It helps balance patient safety with the need for efficient market access for proven technologies. If you need assistance navigating these new EU MDR requirements, developing a clinical evaluation strategy for a WET device, or require support with global market access, please check out Pure Global. Our team of experts combines local regulatory knowledge with advanced AI tools to help you achieve compliance efficiently. You can find our free AI regulatory tools and our extensive device database at pureglobal.ai. For a direct consultation, visit us at pureglobal.com or email info@pureglobal.com. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.